There was something about Yu Menglong that drew people in, not just his face, but the calm sincerity behind it. On screen, he had the kind of warmth that melted through the cold light of cameras. Off screen, he was quiet, humble, and almost painfully gentle. Every role he took felt like an extension of himself, the loyal friend, the patient lover, the man who smiled even when his heart was breaking. He had spent the past decade chasing not fame, but meaning. Yet the higher he climbed, the lonelier the air became. His friends noticed the change first. Long nights turned into longer shoots, and the smile that once lit up entire sets began to flicker. He was exhausted, one crew member would later whisper. But he kept saying he'd rest after the next project. Among those who understood him best was Bai Lu, his co-star and, some said, his secret solace. They had shared laughter, late-night rehearsals, and silences that spoke louder than words. Rumor had it they were inseparable while filming The Silent Promise, the drama that would later become his last. Bai Lu once said in an interview, "He carried emotions like glass, transparent but fragile. When he acted, you could feel every fracture." Those fractures, it turned out, were real. In private, Yu Menglong confided in her that he felt trapped by the image everyone wanted him to be. "They love the version of me that doesn't exist," he told her once, eyes downcast. She wanted to tell him it was okay to be imperfect, to take a break, but he smiled instead, that soft, tired smile that would haunt her forever. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more touching K-drama stories and emotional news-style narratives. On the night of his final shoot, the crew wrapped early. It was raining, a slow, silver rain that clung to his hair as he stood beneath the studio lights. He waved to everyone, saying he'd head home to rest. No one saw him after that. The next morning, news broke that Yu Menglong had been found unconscious in his apartment. The statement from his agency was brief, a sudden health incident. But the details stopped there. Online, theories spiraled: exhaustion, hidden illness, heartbreak. Others whispered about a private letter, written but never sent. Fans flooded social media with disbelief. Hashtags like #RememberYuMenglong trended worldwide. Some posted scenes from his dramas, others shared quiet memories, his kindness, his patience, his way of listening. The industry paused, not just for grief, but for guilt. For days, Bai Lu said nothing. She disappeared from the public eye, skipping events and turning off her phone. The world waited for her to speak, but she couldn't, not yet. A week later, she appeared at a memorial event in a simple white dress. Her eyes were swollen, her voice a whisper. "He wasn't just my co-star," she said softly. "He was my friend. And sometimes, he was my heart." She didn't mention the last message he sent her, a single line. "Don't let the light fade, even if I do." That sentence would later appear engraved beneath his portrait at the memorial site. A month after his passing, a journalist revealed that a handwritten letter had been found in Yu Menglong's study. The paper was unmarked, the ink uneven, as though written in a moment of deep fatigue. It spoke not of despair but of peace, a strange, quiet acceptance. "I've learned that fame is a storm that never stops. You either learn to dance in it or disappear in the rain. If someday I am gone, I hope people will remember not the roles I played, but the heart behind them." The letter ended there, unsigned, unfinished. His agency refused to comment. Some claimed it was part of an abandoned script. Others insisted it was his farewell. The truth, like the man himself, remained delicate and untouchable. Months passed, but unease lingered. A crew member from his last drama hinted that Yu Menglong had collapsed on set days before, but production had kept it quiet to avoid delays. Another spoke of medication, stress, and impossible schedules. The entertainment world, always hungry for perfection, began to question its own cruelty. Was this tragedy avoidable? A blogger wrote. "He died chasing light that was never meant for one person to carry alone." Fans echoed the sentiment. Murals appeared in cities across China and beyond, portraits of Yu Menglong surrounded by stars, each one painted with the words "Rest among them." 6 months later, Bai Lu released a short video. No script, no music, just her voice trembling in the quiet. He used to say, "When I can't act anymore, I'll plant trees." I think that was his way of saying he wanted peace. Maybe we were all too busy asking him to shine brighter to notice how much he was burning. She paused, eyes wet but steady. If love could have saved him, he'd still be here. That night, fans lit candles outside the studio where they had filmed together. The rain returned, soft, endless, as though the sky itself couldn't stop crying. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more touching K-drama stories and emotional news-style narratives. A year later, a documentary titled The Light We Lost premiered quietly on streaming platforms. It wasn't about scandal or mystery but about the cost of empathy, the fragility of art, and the loneliness behind fame. Bai Lu served as narrator. Her voice, gentle yet firm, guided viewers through unseen clips, behind-the-scenes laughter, unfinished takes, and the last recorded moment of Yu Menglong turning toward the camera with that familiar half-smile. "He taught us that beauty is temporary," she said in the closing lines. "But kindness never fades." To this day, no one truly knows what caused Yu Menglong's final collapse. Doctors cited exhaustion, fans believed it was heartbreak. Some whisper that he foresaw his own end. But those who knew him best say the truth doesn't matter anymore. What matters is that, even in his quietest moments, he gave everything, his art, his soul, his gentleness, to a world that rarely gave him rest. And maybe, in that selfless act, he found the peace he had been searching for all along. On the anniversary of his passing, Bai Lu visited the place they filmed their final scene together. The set had long been dismantled, but the memory remained, the echo of laughter, the hum of cameras, the warmth of a man who wanted only to make people feel something real. She placed a single white lily on the ground and whispered, "You were the light, Menglong. You always were." The sun dipped below the horizon, and for a fleeting second, the world seemed to glow with that same gentle warmth he once carried everywhere he went. And then, as if in answer, the light faded softly, beautifully, peacefully. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more touching K-drama stories and emotional news-style narratives.